Growing up, I was a TV guy. Still to this day, I don't really love movies. I've watched a lot of them throughout my life, and I've really hated so many of them. But I've also come across a lot of movies that I really like that other people seem to really hate for some reason. Confusing things, like movies that I think are really good that people have either A, never heard of, or B, just straight up don't like. So here's my big three of movies that I think people just disrespect for no reason and need to just put some respect on their name. Now, what I love about making a list and making these videos is usually how quickly I just instantly turn around on myself. What I mean is that at number 3 on the list, the first movie we're going to talk about is not really a disrespected movie. It's been received highly by both critics and just regular people, and this is genuinely one of my favorite movies of all time. So starting off, 1993, we got Cool Runnings. This is my comfort movie. My mother showed me this movie probably when I was like 6 or 7, and ever since then, this is my I'm home from work movie. This is the movie I watch when I'm really missing my mom. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Cool Runnings, which too many of you are, Cool Runnings is a Disney movie about a Jamaican bobsled team. Now I know what you're thinking, Jamaican bobsled team? What? And yeah man, this actually happened in 1988. Now the way that they went about creating the team was not like they did in the movie. After just like the smallest bit of research, I found out that the Jamaican government actually just recruited 4 dudes from the army for the bobsled team. But even to this day, the Jamaican bobsled program's still doing it. And strangely enough, Cool Runnings almost became John Candy's very last movie. I believe his last movie was Hostage for a Weekend, which performed horribly. So why don't we just lie and say that this was actually John Candy's last movie, and it was great and awesome, and we love you. But as I stated at the beginning, Cool Runnings is reviewed well. It's got a 76 on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics, and it's got an 81 from the crowd score. I know Rotten Tomatoes and all these other numbers are just kind of obligatory, but like there's no way that you and I don't actually sort of listen to these numbers. We wouldn't care. I wouldn't include them in a video like this. But you know when a movie sucks, the first thing you do is go, oh my god, I gotta see what this got. And Cool Runnings has a high score. And the fact that it's a Disney movie is still crazy to me. Because obviously Disney's held in this like insane regard, and people like Disney adults. Ugh. This movie is just like overshadowed by all of their other stuff, and I really don't understand why. Cool Runnings is great. Very fun movie. If you don't feel good and you're staying home from work, make yourself some chicken noodle soup, think of my mom, and watch some Cool Runnings. Now the second movie on the list came out in 2012, and this one has a 34 on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics, and now it has a 60% from the crowd. This movie, people hated, and I didn't understand it. I still don't understand it, man. I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. It's Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I've made a short about people disrespecting this movie, and I will not stand for it any longer. This movie is historical fiction at its finest. This movie has A-list actors in it. People that are still working now. I'm gonna give you the fastest synopsis I can of this movie. Abraham Lincoln's mother is killed by a vampire when he's a child. And then as he's older, he meets a guy who trains him to hunt vampires. That's the movie. That's it. It's so simple. It's always been so simple, and Hollywood just overthinks it. Now, is the CGI perfect? No, absolutely not. But is there another movie you've seen where the president fights a vampire while running across the backs of stampeding horses? I doubt it. And yeah, the CGI may look a little like glorpy, I guess that's the word for it, but the fights make up for it. The fight scenes in this movie are so dope. Now this movie also does have like its cheap ripoff version, which is Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies. But this movie had a $69 million budget, and it was directed by the guy who directed Wanted. You know, the movie where you can curve a bullet if you like twist the gun while you shoot it. Watch that movie too. That's another just like steaming pile of fun shit. And when I read that that dude directed this movie, I was like, oh, of course he did. But I think every president should have to train like this. All of them. This shit is too fun. Hollywood, just make fun movies again, man. You guys are driving me nuts. So we've come to the pinnacle of the list, and the movie that sits at number 1 is genuinely one of my favorite movies. I get the hate for it because it's a stupid movie. But we're going back to 2007 when I was, what, a junior in high school? So this was made for me. It's Hot Rod. Early Andy Sam, early all the guys in Lonely Island. All of them are in this movie. 2 of them have major roles and the other one literally just shows up to give Bill Hader acid, puts on a top hat, and then literally just goes. It's brilliant. Now, Hot Rod is a charming movie about an amateur stuntman who's raising money to help his sick stepdad. Now, why is he raising money to help his sick stepdad, you may ask? So he can beat the shit out of him. Rod, the main character, is convinced that the only way he can prove himself to be a man is to beat up his stepdad. So that's what he wants to do, and when his stepdad gets sick, he goes, I need to get him a new kidney so I can whoop his ass. This movie has almost as many quotable lines as Anchorman, and I will stand on 10 toes about that. Like, don't even get me started. And the soundtrack, dude, are you serious? The riot scene alone, I'm sorry, the parade scene is high art. That's cinema as far as I'm concerned. Or the scene when they're handing out flyers and Richardson comes, it's a wide shot, and he literally does a 360 while running full speed and then just throws a stack of papers at the side of this woman's van. It's perfect. Also, everything Danny McBride in this movie says is quotable. Like, I've been drinking green tea all goddamn day. I say that at least daily. Now, this movie had a $25 million budget and only grossed $14 million, so it is considered a failure, but this movie's had a real renaissance with short form media. Seeing clips on TikTok and even here on YouTube, that's what saved this movie. If you take this movie out of context and just show people some of the jokes, they're great. Will Arnett going, babe, babe. Again, it's perfect. I've seen this movie at least 100 times, and I will go 100 times again in a heartbeat. But there it is, my list of 3 movies that I feel are disrespected, and you need to go watch right now. Go watch them. There's a million. Cool Runnings is on Disney+. Hot Rod, I think, is on Hulu, and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, I think that one's honestly probably on Tubi. They're giving that shit away, which I don't understand. But thank you very much for watching. I do apologize for not uploading last week. The entire household had the flu 2 weeks ago, and that just threw off all of my research time and everything, but we're back on schedule now. So if you like this video, please make sure to like and comment and subscribe and yada yada yada, and I will see you in the next one. What am I doing?